There you go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? A rookie error there. I just realized I was muted. But what's up? Welcome in to another live Inside the Coop, I guess, Gamecock Talk, whatever you want to call it. I ain't figured out a good name for this show yet. But welcome into another live. I know it's been a minute. I've been real busy, but I found some time today to put out a live. And if you saw the topic or on the thumbnail, we're going to talk a little bit about the wide receiver room. I did put out a video yesterday talking about the start time for the Virginia Tech South Carolina game in Mercedes-Benz August 31st. That will be a Sunday. I did a video yesterday, and one of my subscribers, Mr. David Green, hit up in the comment, wanted me to do a video talking a little bit about the wide receivers that South Carolina's got coming back, what we lost, things like that. So we're gonna look into that a little bit, just talk a little bit about that, ramble on about that, give my thoughts on it a little bit, and hopefully we have some good interaction in here, some comments, and we'll see how it goes this hour. Like I said, I haven't been on here doing this in a while. I haven't been consistent enough, I know. And I'm not going to go over an hour because I don't want to run over into Carolina Jackpot and Rob Sanders and their show, because I respect other people's time on YouTube. So I'm not going to run into their time. So we're going to do this about an hour. If it takes an hour, if it don't, we may shut it down. Depends on how much interaction we got. But we're going to give it a go. We're going to talk a little bit about it and try to have a little good time tonight. So appreciate Scott being here. As always, he always seems to be one of the first few in here. So I appreciate you, Scott, for stopping by. He said he finally got the notification. I don't know what happened there. I put the thumbnail out 2 hours ago. So I don't know why you didn't get the notification until just then. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. Like I said, we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk some football tonight as far as the wide receiver room goes. Hopefully we get some, hopefully get some more people in here. Like I said, I was going to do a video, but my videos haven't been generating a whole lot of views lately, and I don't know why. I don't know if maybe it's because I'm not being consistent, or maybe the content's not no good. I don't know. Somebody let me know, man. Somebody let me know, because my content's not really generating anything. It's kind of getting a little depressing, or a little, not really depressing, but it's kind of getting a little aggravated, because I put some time and some thought into it, and they just don't come off the way I want them to. Now, and that's another reason why I'm doing this live instead of doing a video, because usually I get a lot of stuff going on in my head. I get it inside my head how I want to present a video, and maybe that's the issue. I get it inside my head. I know how I want to present it. I know what I want to say, but when I click record on my phone, it comes out as a jumbled mess. So I need to figure out how to take what's in my head and put it on a video form. And maybe that's what's wrong with my videos. I don't know. But anyway, Scott said you also need to talk about the softball team. Yeah, they made it to the NCAA tournament they hosted, ain't they? A regional. I'm not sure exactly. I know they got Virginia and who else is in that? I forgot who else is in the bracket with them or in that regional. But they get to host a regional tournament or regional for the NCAA softball tournament. Hopefully they can take care of business there and win and go to a super regional, whether they hosting it or going to it. It's still a big accomplishment for the Gamecocks in women's softball under first-year head coach Ashley Chastain Woodward, however you say her last name, but hell of accomplishment by the softball team. They are tearing it up. Wish I could say the same thing about the baseball team, but yeah, that's like I said in my video, that's a whole different segment that we have to talk about that, because that is a big ass dumpster fire going on at Founders Park this season. I think they got LSU this weekend. They barely beat Winthrop last night in the eighth inning. They had a rally to come back from like 5-1 or whatever it was. and they got the win there. But yeah, it's going to be hard pressed for them to finish at 500 on the season. Like I said, with a big series against LSU, and then the SEC tournament. I don't see them finishing 500. I may be wrong, but they're not going. I don't. The only way they'd make a regional or the NCAA tournament is they win the SEC tournament, and I don't see that happening. I don't think we got the pitching staff or the bats that can reel off that many wins and win the SEC. I mean, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened in sports. Who was that? Georgia back in the day when they were playing in the tournament. They would have a losing record, I believe it was, in basketball, and they ended up going through the whole SEC tournament and winning and getting to the NCAA tournament. I mean, it was just got hot at the right time. So who knows? Who knows? I guess you could say you can't count them out, but I think most Gamecock fans was already looking forward to next season and what the baseball team will have in store next year, whether it be a whole new roster because of a lot of transfers. I've heard some rumblings that a lot of players may be leaving. I don't know exactly who, but I heard a lot of people could be leaving the team. Coach Maneri will be able to get his first full recruiting class in there, see what he can do after that. I don't think he's going nowhere. I know a lot of people are fed up with him and think it's a bad hire, and they want him out of there right away, right now, immediately, because the baseball team has fallen so far from where they were back in the day. I don't think he's going anywhere. I would be shocked if at the end of the year he's gone. Just my 2 cents on it, and that's not really worth anything at all. But going back to softball, like I said, they got an opportunity to make some noise in the NCAA tournament. They surprised a lot of people. It surprised me, actually. I didn't think the softball team was going to be as good as they were this year, and they actually done a great job, man. The coach has come in there and turned that program into a winning team. So Scott said if they win the regional, they will probably host UCLA in the super regional. That's cool. So they got an opportunity to host a super regional. Is that what you're saying? I can't remember. I didn't look at the who was hosting what, who was the top whatever seeds that get to host a super regional. But that'd be cool if they get to host a super regional. It has been a tough team in softball in the past. I'm not sure exactly how good they are this year, but it should be a good test for the Gamecocks so they can make it that far. And hopefully they will. I need to look and see when they start playing, but I've been super busy working my full-time job and then doing my little side work, earning a little extra money on the side. So I've been kind of busy, so I really haven't kept up with the schedule, but hopefully I'll be able to, follow along and see how they do, how well they do with softball. But yeah, I mean, they really impressed me this year, and hats off, kudos. What are you going to say? Great job to the new softball coach and the team, and hope they have success in the tournament. So we'll see how far they go with that. Maybe on the next show, we'll see where they at, if they're still in the tournament or what, or if they in Oklahoma. Was it Oklahoma City? I think that's where they played the women's softball tournament. Oklahoma City, one of them, somewhere out there, I believe. But who knows? They may be there by next time I do another live. So anyway, I'll be rooting them on, and yeah, that's it as far as softball. But like I got in the title here, we're going to talk a little bit about a wide receiver room. Last year, the wide receiver room, in my opinion, really underperformed last year. I've been trying to think of how I want to go about presenting this tonight. And, the only thing that comes to mind is, like I said, they underperformed last year. Nick Harbor coming off of, practicing track, wasn't really locked in, dialed in, I don't think, the whole season. Finally got it together towards the end. Mazio Bennett, a young freshman coming in there, making a name for himself. Kind of got hurt down the stretch a little bit, didn't really play 100% healthy to finish out the year. but he ended up doing pretty solid for a freshman coming in there. Delvon Campbell, I expected a lot more from him. Like I said, all the wide receivers really underperformed, in my opinion. When I look at them, I thought we had an opportunity to make some noise last year in that group with all the talent that we brought in through the transfer portal and some of the stuff we had already on the roster with Harbor. But that's just how it unfolded. At the beginning of the season, I put out a video. I think it was a video or it might have been a live. I can't remember. But I made a bold prediction that, South Carolina, and I have no idea why the hell I even thought this, but I put a bold prediction out there, a bold statement that South Carolina would have a 1,000-yard receiver at the end of the year. And that we missed that mark by a long shot. Our leading receiver wasn't even a receiver. It was a tight end. Josh Simon led the team in receiving last year. He had 519 yards on 40 receptions. So he was our leading pass catcher from the team last year. Nick Harbor, 376 yards. He was our second in stats as far as receiving. But like I said, he didn't come on to the end of the season. Midway through the season towards the latter part, he actually started, doing better, running better routes and seeing the ball better and catching it and bringing it into his body and not having a lot of drops. So hopefully he's got that figured out. And now that he is pretty much let go of the whole track idea of running track at South Carolina, maybe he'll have a breakout year. Maybe this will be his big year as far as a wide receiver go, because we're going to need somebody to step up. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit near the end of the video. But now that he's done with the whole track thing, he's focused on football. I think he finally saw the writing on the wall that, playing football and running track in college is difficult to do when you're competing against Olympic talent at the collegiate level. In high school, he could do that because he was running against, high school track athletes. He wasn't running against these big time Olympic sprinters and things and guys like that. So I think he finally saw the writing on the wall. As far as that, and he shifted his focus to just primary football going forward. And I think that's probably the best thing for him to do, honestly. I could see him doing pretty well in the 200 meter, but the 100 meter sprint that was not his game. He didn't have enough get up quick enough to compete with the Olympic sprinters out there. Now the 200, he'd have an opportunity to close some of the gap, but I just don't think he could get it done. And like I said, he switched his focus to football, and that's probably in the end probably the best thing for him. But hopefully he have a breakout this year. Mazio Bennett, he had 337 yards, 3 touchdowns last year on 30 receptions. He was our second leading pass catcher on the team, true freshman. If he wouldn't have got hurt, who knows? He may have had 500 yards on the season. Who knows? But I think he was a little banged up, didn't play some of the games, and I think that played into him not having as many yards as he possibly could have had last year. Like I said, Delvon Campbell, a little underperformed last year, 312 yards on 12 receptions. I expected more out of that big-bodied wide receiver. He's a big go-getter, man. He could stretch the field, but it just didn't happen for us. Vandravius Jacob transferred in. Was it Florida State? I think that's where he came from. He transferred in. This year he's going to be a redshirt sophomore, so he was actually a redshirt freshman last year. He got 12 catches for like 181 yards. So looking forward to seeing what he can do this year in his sophomore year, redshirt sophomore year. Jared Brown, he transferred in from Coastal Carolina. He's a redshirt senior this year. He had 244 yards, a touchdown, and 15 receptions. So that guy's got some skill as well. outside of that, not really a whole lot. Gage Larbernan, the guy that came in from Miami of Ohio, had 223 yards. But like I said, all their wide receivers, in my opinion, underachieved last year. And Scott made a point. He said Sellers didn't have time to throw for 1,000 yards. We actually threw for what, 2,400 yards or something like that. I can't remember exactly what Lenoris ended up with, but I thought it was right around 2,400 yards. So he had some time. If you look at all them, the receivers there that I just mentioned, Peyton Mangum had a couple yards as well, Eric Rice, but, nothing eye problem. But if you look at all them stats there, that's over 1,700 yards that these receivers caught last year, 1,735 yards and 8 touchdowns. So he did throw for over 1,000 yards. Out of all that 1,735, we got a good portion of them yards coming back this year with Nick Harbor, Mazio, Ventravius Jacobs, Jared Brown. He's back. So all them guys are there. That's over 1,100 yards right there between them 4 wide receivers right there alone. So we got some guys that can catch the ball. Will we be productive, or will we be more productive this year than we were last year when it comes to the wide receiver room? I hope so. I really like the core that we got there as far as a veteran player, and we also brought in some young talent in. Lex Cyrus from Pennsylvania, he committed to South Carolina. He's there. Be playing for the Gamecocks, probably more like a slot receiver, so be able to stretch the field there, be able to go downfield and just cut loose and go. Jordan Gidron, another guy that I'm excited to see him play as well. Malik Clark. Hold on, was Gidron there last year? No, that was Gatlin. Jordan Gidron, I'm excited to see him play. Malik Clark, right there out of the Rock Hill, South Carolina area. He pulled a Houdini and was thinking about going to Florida State and decided to go to South Carolina instead. He switched it up and stayed home. Excited about him as well. Jaden Sellers, the younger brother of Lenora Sellers. I think he got injured a little bit, didn't he, during the camp, the spring practice or spring camp this year. So I don't think he was 100% during the camp. So see what he can do. See if he can make a splash this year. Brian Rowe Jr. or Rao, however you want to say that. People say it different around here. Depends on where you at. Up here in North Carolina, they say Rowe or Rao. Up here in North Carolina, they say Rao. So, but Brian Rowe Jr., another slot type of receiver. And then you got Donovan Murph, was it cousin of Alshon Jeffrey. So hopefully he got some of that Alshon Jeffrey talent in him. Some of that go up and get, go up and high point the ball and make some great spectacular catches and play like his cousin did back in the day for the Gamecocks. Yeah, I can see that, Rob. And welcome in, Rob Blackfoot. Hey, how you doing, sir? He said Nick Harbor would be great this year. I hope so. He's focused all on football. He got rid of that track mentality. And we'll see. The sky's the limit for that young man. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do and how he see if he can turn into our primary wide receiver, our go-to guy, I guess you could say. He also says Sellers would be redshirted anyway. A possibility. I can see that happening, especially if he was hurt during fall camp, which I think I read that. I'm not 100% sure. But if he was, there's probably a good chance that he will more than likely be redshirted unless he gets healthy or if he's 100% healthy and he just starts, balling out during the summer or during the spring, or the fall camp right before, the season start, when they start, solidifying the depth chart. Who knows? He may work himself into a starting role. He may redshirt. I really don't know. Who's to say any of these players is going to be on this roster come the fall with the whole transfer portal and everything and NIL and stuff? There ain't no telling. Right now I'm just talking names. And when August 31st gets here, 3 o'clock, when they kick off in Atlanta, we'll know who's on the roster or not. We'll know who's here and who's going to be playing and who's going to be starting and whatnot. But anyway, that's a list of the wide receivers we got on the roster this year. Also got Luke Doty, throw him in there as well. He's more of an athlete, but he's been working with the quarterbacks. He's been working with the wide receivers. So who knows what Luke's going to do? But he's listed, I guess, as an athlete, but he's also used as a wide receiver. So tight ends, we lost Josh Simon to the NFL. He's off and gone. Like I said earlier, he was our leading catcher, 519 yards. Can't remember how many touchdowns he had. He had several touchdowns. I can't remember. I didn't write that down, but he's off to the NFL. We do bring back Michael Smith. He was injured down the stretch last year. He caught 10 balls for 106 yards. So hopefully he can come back healthy. And because I'm excited about that tight end. I had high hopes for him last year. I wish he wouldn't have got injured and was able to produce more last year. But like I said, it is what it is. We'll see. We got him this year coming back. We also brought in Jordan Dingle from Kentucky. He transferred in from Kentucky. Another solid tight end that can get out there, stretch the field, and make things happen when he gets the ball in his hand. Let's see if I can look up some stats on that young man, because I didn't look it up before I come on here. Oh shit! But see if I can look his stats up. But I'm excited to have him, see what he can do. I think he's a great addition to the tight end room, that's honestly looks pretty thin. Honestly, if you look at it, I mean, you got Michael Smith, who knows if he's going to be 100% healthy. Got Brady Hunt back as well, and Maurice Brown. So still got him as well. So, but I think a bulk of the snaps is going to go to Jordan Dingle or Michael Smith. Just my 2 cents. I may be wrong. Who knows? I really don't know anything. I'm just on here just spitting a bunch of garbage out there. So I could be way off on all my shit that I'm talking. Let's see, Jordan Dingle. Well, he's a redshirt senior, so this is last year right there at Bowling Green, Kentucky. Let's see. Let's see here. He gets 3 yards. It don't say what his stats were last year here. Let's see. He may have gotten hurt. I know he's hurt now for the Tennessee game. But anyway, I'm excited to have him on board. Like I said, it's a much needed addition to the tight end room. Who knows? We may go after somebody else when the transfer portal opens. I think it opens again before the fall camp. So who knows? We may go after somebody there. I don't know. But like I said, I'm excited for this 2025 wide receiver room. Now, I'm not going to make no stupid, bold prediction like I did last year and say we're going to have a 1,000-yard receiver, because who knows? Who knows how Sellers is going to operate this year? Who knows? I mean, a lot of people talking about Mike Shula may try to turn him into a more passing quarterback, or he could be, like he was last year, pass and run, or run and pass and mix it up. So who knows? We may end up the same way we ended up this year, with a couple 3 or 4 300-yard receivers and maybe a 500-yard receiver or something like that. We may be spread out across a number of receivers this year. But I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Like I said, I like what we got on the roster as far as wide receivers with Nick Harbor, Mazio, Brown, Jacobs. I really like that core of wide receivers. And I want to see what these young freshmen, who's going to make the impact, on the roster as far as freshmen when the season starts or throughout the season. If I had to put if I had to put money on it, I would probably venture to say it'll probably be Malik Clark. I would probably go out on a limb and say Malik Clark was probably one of your true freshmen that kind of that will shine this year for the Gamecocks. Will kind of be that Mazio Bennett from last year. And that's just my opinion. That's just off the top of my head. I haven't watched them. I didn't go to the spring game or anything, so I don't really know. I really don't know how he did in that, but just off the top of my head, he looks like a guy that his highlights looks like a guy that could go out there and make some things happen for the Gamecocks. But if I had to put a little bit of money on it, I'd probably bet that Malik Clark will have a Mazio Bennett type of year. Because Donovan Murphy's not there yet, so I don't know. I don't know if that guy. I don't know if he's going to be ready to go or not. I don't know, how well he knows the routes, how well he knows the playbook. I think if he would have came in during January, if he had early enrolled, I think he would probably be my top pick for freshman headed into this year to make a big splash. But since he didn't, I really don't know where he is as far as knowing everything, the route trees, and where he needs to be on what play and where to line up. Kind of like Nick Harbor did his first year. He was out there, and Beamer said he looked lost several times. So, and they're freshmen. They're going to make mistakes, so you got to, give them a little leadway on that. But like I said, if he would have been there at the beginning of the season, I would probably put my money on Donovan, or not the beginning of the season. If he'd have been an early enrollee, I would put my money on Donovan Murphy to make that impact player for the wide receiver room as far as freshmen. But right now I'm going with Malik Clark. I think he is an electric athlete that can make some things happen, and we shall see. Like I said, I made a stupid bold prediction last year. I may be stupid, and this prediction may not come true either. But let me know what y'all think. Who y'all think is going to make an impact as far as freshmen? Who's going to have that Mazio Bennett year that they can come out there and make a little splash, put their name out there, get a little hype behind them? Who do y'all think? Who do y'all think is going to be that player? And who do y'all think as far as the veterans coming back? Nick, Mazio, Jacobs, Jared Brown. Who do y'all think is going to show out this year? Who y'all think is going to have a big time year for the Gamecocks in the wide receiver room? Most people probably say Harbor, and I get that. He's one of the more veteran guys in the room. Jared Brown's was he a redshirt senior? Yeah, he's a redshirt senior. So could it be him? Can Nick get on page with Lenoris? Can they have a special connection this year? Who's going to be the go-to guy as far as the veterans? I honestly like Mazio. I like his grit, his tenacity, his running after the catch. I really like him. I can see him having a breakout year. As long as he stays healthy, I can see him having a breakout year as far as I guess you could say the more veteran guys there. But I also think it's time that Nick Harbor, solidifies his role with the Gamecocks in the wide receiver room. So, throat's a little dry, doing all this damn talking. But yeah, let me know. I want to know y'all's thoughts, man. Come on, I need some interaction here. Need some interaction. Trying to see here. Nope. But and still no word on Faison, so still no word there. What's up, Walking Off Sport? For Carolina Harbor has to show out this year. Yeah, it's time, man. It's time. It is time Nick Harbor shows out. Now that he's got that track stuff out of the way, and he realized, I think he sees the writing on the wall, like I said earlier. I agree with you, man. It's time for him to show out. Can he do it though? That's the thing. Can he get separation? Can he get open? Can he catch the ball and quit having dropsies? We don't know. We'll see. But I agree with you. It's time for him to show out. He's been there. He's been there a couple of years now, so it's time for him to make to do some good things. Now, will he do better than last year? I hope so. He needs to. Like I said, everybody does. All of them needs to. Like I said, I felt like they underachieved last year from wide receiver room, and based on NCAA. Well, see, that's a difference. That's a video game, man. We're living in reality, man. We're living in the real world. He is a cheat code. I don't, I'm trying to see how I want to say this. I try not to get too wrapped up in his track speed, because I think that's a little different. I think track speed is a little different than getting out there on a football field. Because in track, you don't have to get off the line and get separation from nobody. You don't have to fight through contact to get open or anything. So I think his track speed's a little deceptive on the football field. Now, when he gets in the open, maybe you see it better, but I don't buy too much into the hype about his speed, because he's got to learn how to win off the line. He's got to learn how to win off the line, get position, and separate himself. And I haven't seen a whole lot of that. Maybe here or there, but I haven't seen that a whole lot. And playing in the SEC, you got a lot of Sunday first round draft pick DBs you going against. That's going to be playing on Sunday. And you got to learn how to win off the line of scrimmage. You got to learn how to beat double teams, and that track speed don't help if you can't get off the line. It don't matter how fast you is or how fast you are when you get into wide open. You got to get into wide open. That's the thing. You got to get into wide open, and I think he struggles with that a little bit, in my opinion. But yeah, he needs to show out this year for sure. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, if Sellers has improved, and we'll see if he's improved headed into the season. If he's improved, then yeah, the wide receiver, it will be elevated. You're 100% correct, sir. I think that was kind of, I guess that, like Scott said, I think if Scott earlier said, he didn't have a whole lot of time to throw for 1,000 yards, going back to my stupid prediction. But if we give him time and he sits back in the pocket and be a little more of a pocket passer, and if he's improved, and yeah, our wide receiver room will be elevated, because I think we got the guys that can go out there and get it. They can get it done. We got some good guys coming back. We got some good young talent coming in from the high school ranks. So I think we do. Now, hopefully, like you said, hopefully he's improved. Hopefully he puts the ball on the money, and we'll see what we can do. And hopefully Coach Shula has got him clicking this year, and he's improved both throwing the ball, making decisions, knowing when to take off, knowing when to throw the ball, and knowing, which receiver to read and throw open or whatever. So that's what it all boils down to. And before you can do all that, the offensive line, and we all know how that's been going the last several years. So hopefully we have a much improved offensive line. We got some guys back. We also brought in some transfers. So we'll see. We got some question marks as far as the offensive line, as far as who's going to be center this year. So I think we lost two of them off the offensive line, the center, and was a right tackle or right guard. Can't remember what side he played on, but we got a couple question marks on the offensive line. And if we can put it together offensively, if the offensive line can put it together, protect Sellers, and it gives him time to throw and he's improved, you're right. The wide receiver room is going to be awesome. Scott said, with Sellers, we need a receiver that can keep the play alive and come back to the ball. Well, you're right. We do. And I think we do. I think that's something Nick's real good at, is coming back to the quarterback, working his way back to get open. That's one thing it looked like he did a lot of that last year from what I've seen. Jacobs, I don't think he played a whole lot. I think he was hurt some down the stretch. And Jared Brown, I mean, he can come back to the ball as well. But, yeah, you're right. We need receivers that when they see Sellers in trouble to work their way back and give him an open target, an easy target, to hit. So, but, yeah, you're correct, sir. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the season. Like I said in my video yesterday, it's coming soon. I don't, want to wish it to get here fast because it only lasts so long, but it will be here before we know it. We'll be in Atlanta kicking off against Virginia Tech and see what we got, man. See what we got. Usually the opening game is kind of, I guess, a slow go for the Gamecocks. They seem to struggle in the opening games of the season. So hopefully they come out with a little more fire, passion, and hungry to improve on their 9-4 season from last year, to show everybody that last year wasn't a fluke, that we can replicate it or do better than what we did last year. So it's coming, and I'm excited for it. Let's see. Walking Off Sports said, let's see, what did he say? If Sellers can get the passing game going, then that just opens up his ability to scramble. Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing about having Lenoris. He can do both, man. If the pocket breaks down, we saw last year, if it breaks down, he can get out of trouble and get out of there and make things happen with his legs. He can extend the play, roll out, and find an open guy. And when you give him time, he can hit the receiver, when the receivers are open. So it's a lot of things that's got to go right in order for him to have a successful season this year. But yeah, that is something. If he can get the passing game going, you can't sit back and expect him to pass, because you got to be prepared for him to take off and run, in a moment's notice. So, but we'll see. Like I said, we got a couple more months. June, I think it's in June, they'll come in for summer camp or summer workouts. So the team will be back next month, getting conditioned up, getting ready for the fall camp that probably start. I'd probably venture to say the last part of July, maybe the beginning of August, the first day of August, maybe. I really don't have a calendar or schedule. I haven't seen it, but it'll be here before we know it. And man, I'm so excited. So, but yeah, I mean, David Green wanted me to do this video, and like I said, I was going to do it on a video form instead of a live, but I can't seem to get shit to come out of my head right when I'm thinking of what I want to say a lot of times. And I'm not even sure if I did this one. I'm not sure if I did this one right, the way I really wanted to. But he wanted me to do this video, and I figured I would do a little research today and try to put together something. And I wanted to go live because I haven't been live in a while, or It's been a minute since I've been live, and I wanted to get on here and just connect with some of my subscribers. And for anybody that's out there that's listening, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit the like, hit the notifications. That way you guys get notified when I do these lives or when I go live. So what's up, David Green's here. Walking off said, I'm ready for it. No Carolina fan, but passionate about college football. Yeah, you a Georgia fan, ain't you? I think that's what's on your videos and everything that I've seen that I've checked out. And yeah, by the way, anybody on here, y'all go check out Walk It Off Sports. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. Just now starting it up. I think he's got around about 30 subscribers, maybe more than that by now. But go check out his channel, subscribe to his channel, and show him some love, and check out his content. I think he does it with another guy. I think they have like a tandem going on, I guess, where two guys where they each do a video or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how your channel works there, Walk It Off, but it's two guys that talk football, baseball, whatever. I'm not even sure what they all talk about. I know I've seen some baseball videos on there about the Braves, and I've seen some video about the Gamecocks where they're talking about the Gamecocks. So just go check it out. Go check it out. Subscribe to this channel. Make sure you turn the notifications on and like, comment, all that stuff. Be active on his channel. Let's get him up. Let's get him up there where he wants to get to. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for college football too. I'm a passionate fan as well. Just call me Mike. I'm a passionate fan as well. I like watching football. I mean, yeah, I'm a Gamecock fan, but if there's a good game on, 9 times out of 10, if I'm home, I'm watching it. Whether I like the teams or not, I'll tune into it. And same thing about the opening game with the Gamecocks, man. After that game's over, you got what? Miami and Notre Dame. That's who it is playing at 7:30. So I'm going to watch that game too. I don't really care nothing about neither one of them, but I'll be watching it because it's football. And that weekend, they're going to have a whole lot of football. I think it starts on Thursday night? Maybe Wednesday. I don't know. I ain't looked at the schedule. But it's going to go from like Thursday to Monday, I believe. Nothing but college football. There's not going to be any NFL games on because it don't start to the following week. So nothing but college football that weekend. And I'm excited. I'm ready to see it, man. I'm ready to get things going. I think you also got LSU Clemson that weekend. They kick off. I think that game's at like 7:30. I think it's what I saw. So a lot of good football. In the opening week. And ready for it to get here because I'll be glued to the TV hopefully, and I'll be doing my live reaction video as well of the game. Who knows? I may stay on for the Notre Dame Miami game. I don't know. Predictions. What kind of predictions you want, David Green? Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely hit me up, man. Definitely Walk It Off. What kind of predictions you want, David Green? I haven't did no season. P digits in the house, but I haven't did any. I haven't done any. I haven't done anything thinking about the season. My whole thing with the season prediction right now, we don't know who's going to be on the roster. We really don't know who's going to be on the roster, how it's going to shake out after fall, when the fall camp starts and before the season starts, when people get told, hey, you got to go to the practice squad, who knows whose feelings going to get hurt, and they're going to want to take their ball and go home and not going to be on the roster to start the season. So it's kind of hard for me to put a prediction on the season so far, but give me a little bit of time and let me do some stewing on it, and maybe I get back to you on that one there, David Green. but I'm not ready to do no prediction. I just want all the teams. I just want all the players to be here. Call it. Yeah. I mean, y'all can give y'all's prediction. Y'all can give y'all's prediction on the Gamecocks. That this team can go anywhere from 4-8 to 9-3, 10-2. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You're right. It could be Shane's year. Could be, man. It all depends. It depends on several things, and just me thinking, sitting here. The defense. We all know the defense lost a lot of pieces up front, so got to replace that. We don't know how well they're going to gel, how they're going to stop the run, whether or not they can stop the run, whether or not we're going to get any pressure on the quarterback. We still got Dylan Stewart coming off the edge, so we got to find an opposite of him. That way he don't get double, triple teamed every time. So we got to find somebody to be that Kyle Kennard. We got to find a Kyle Kennard from last year that we had. So defense is probably the biggest question. Offensively, if we can get Rasul Faison, we get him cleared to play this year, I think our running back room is going to look pretty solid. Wide receiver room, I talked about it a while ago. We got opportunities to be great this year. Offensive line, a few question marks there along that. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that I got to go through and kind of sort out there, David, before I can put a prediction out there. But if you want me to, I'll go ahead and say it 2-10. There you go. I think South Carolina goes 2-10. That way, you'll have a prediction for today. Now it may change by July, August, but I really deep dive and look into it and see who potentially could be the starters, who's going to be on the roster. Look at the other teams. I got to look at all the, who we're going to be playing. See how they look headed into the season. I mean, a lot of factors out there. We got some. See if I can pull up the schedule. I got a few more minutes before Jackpot and them comes on. Make sure everybody hits that like button, please. That's very important. Matter of fact, we ain't got that many likes on here, so we got to get them damn likes up, people. Let's go. Let me see if I can find the schedule for South Carolina. I know I got it somewhere around here on this damn phone. But I know, we open with Virginia Tech. Then we play South Carolina State. Let's see, where's my dang schedule? I know I got it on here somewhere. Is this it? Oh, yeah. We got Virginia Tech to open the season. That game's going to be interesting. Because like Jackpot said, I watched his video today. Like he said, we struggle coming out the gates. Will Virginia Tech be hungry to upset us and ready to, I guess, save their coach's job that apparently is on the hot seat? Will they come out on fire and play? And because it's an SEC opponent, they might be geared up, amped up, and ready to go to kick some South Carolina ass. Who knows? But whereas that, we got South Carolina State, so that should be a very winnable game. Got Vanderbilt after that. Diego Pavia, he's back for another year. See what we can do with him. We got them early in the year, so hopefully our defense is gelled some and clicking, and it's coming together by the time we play that game. Then we got Missouri, and that's on the road. Vanderbilt's at home. South Carolina State's at home as well. And then we go. No, then Kentucky comes to town after that. So we got a legit shot headed into our first bye, potentially being 4-1, undefeated. Headed into the first bye in October 4th. Now, like I said, I don't know what Kentucky's bringing in. I don't know what Missouri's bringing in. But, I mean, we could end up being 2-3 by the time the bye gets here. I don't know. Then we come off the bye. We go to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. Probably going to be a night game. And everybody knows LSU plays lights out at night in Baton Rouge. So that game might be a night game. Then we come back home for Oklahoma. You know, they probably going to be improved in what they were last year. I don't look for them to be as bad as they were last year, headed into that game. So we'll see what they got as well. Then we got Alabama at home. We let that game get away from us last year. That was the game that South Carolina had. We just could not execute down the stretch to get that victory, and that's how that ended. So we got them coming to town after Oklahoma. Then we go to Oxford to take on Ole Miss. It's going to be a tough game. Like I said, I don't know what Ole Miss has either, so that's going to be interesting. That's a tough stretch of games. I think them 4 games right there could define South Carolina's season. The LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Ole Miss. I think them 4 games could define, you know, whether we go 5-7, 6-6, or 9-3, 10-2. If we can win 2 out of them 4, I'll be pleased with that. Which 2? Who knows? Who really knows? Who knows what Kalen DeBoer and Alabama has this year coming back? Whether or not they're going to be struggle as much as they did last year against us, we'll see. After Ole Miss, we got a bye. Then we got Texas A&M, and that game's at Kyle Field, so we'll have to go up there with their little crackerjack, cheerleading, pistol-toting, or toy gun-toting people that they got out there doing their little chants and hoo-haws and all that junk. Yeah, we got to go out there for that. Then you got Coastal Carolina at home, and then we wrap up the season at home against Clemson. So, like I said, I got to see what everybody has and do some research before I can put out a prediction there, David. But I can see a lot of scenarios where we can win 6 games, win 5 games, win 8 games if everything goes right. So, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it right now. Like I said, as the season gets closer, I'll look into doing a video to do a prediction for the season. What's up, JD? He says, salutations, everybody. Hope everybody is staying blessed. Yep. I like the talent the wide receiver room has. We're one of only 3 schools to sign 3 or more blue chip wide receiver prospects. Yeah, I was raving about that earlier as far as the wide receiver room. I really like the young talent we brought in. So, JD, answer this if you're still here. Who you think is going to show out this year when it comes to freshmen? Which freshman wide receiver do you think is going to have a Mazeo Bennett kind of year coming out, I guess so to say, this year for the Gamecocks? Oh, shit. Georgia and LSU are the other 2. A damn sure missed. Yeah, I do too, Walking Off Sports. I do too. I missed that game, but hopefully it'll be back next year. I think they do don't they rotate the schedule or something like that? They change it up next year, I believe it is. 26 seasons. So hopefully that game will be back on the schedule, but we'll see. I do. Even though we do get our ass kicked quite a bit by Georgia, I still like that game. I enjoy watching it. Yeah, JD, we do owe LSU an ass kicking from last year, that debacle that happened there. And that's we've already discussed that all. A lot of people have talked about it and rehashed and got upset about it and gave our opinions on what happened and what shouldn't have happened in that game. But it's all over with. Now we just move on to this year and just try to get them back in Death Valley. P. Diddy said, y'all on the refs and ask, yeah. Hopefully that guy will not be reffing that game. So we'll see. What's up there, Nate? Nate's here and there. What's up from Penn? You up in Pennsylvania, man? Wow. I've been checking out your latest videos, man. Keep doing it, man. Keep doing your thing. Be safe out there on the road. I hope your health is pretty good. I know you've been sick lately. So keep doing your thing, brother. Everybody go check out Nate's here and there. He does a lot of trucking video. He's a truck driver and he does a lot of, I guess, behind the scenes. He does all kind of videos. He travels around South Carolina and does like graveyards and talks about different things. So go check out his channel as well. Could also say, 26 should be back. Yeah, hopefully, man. David Green said, Penn is strong. I guess. Well, I think that's going to do it, guys, because it's 9 o'clock. And like I said, I don't want to run into Carolina Jackpot and Rob's show because, like I said, I respect everybody's air time on here. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope I did a decent job there, David Green, on your video topic about the wide receiver room. So make sure everybody hit that like button as you leave, subscribe, comment, even after the fact. If you think of something, get in the comments, hit it up. Tell all your friends, your neighbors, whoever, check out this channel and subscribe to it. We're trying to grow. That's the name of the game, is trying to grow. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I can get this thing rolling on a more consistent basis and do more content as the year gets closer. But that's it for tonight. We talked about the wide receiver. We talked about softball. We talked about the opening game of the season a little bit. So if you missed any of that, go back and rewatch it. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Y'all have a good evening, good weekend. If I don't see you on here between now and then. And like I said, hopefully we'll be back next week. So y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see you in the next one.